Have you ever felt like your emotions were controlling you, pulling you in 1,000 directions, leaving you exhausted, confused, and drained? It's as if the weight of your feelings, the endless cycle of stress, frustration, and worry, never truly lets up. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from this emotional chaos? What if you could finally reclaim your peace, no matter what's happening around you? This isn't just some fleeting dream. It's possible. And it starts with one simple decision: detaching emotionally. Think about it for a moment. Every time you get caught up in someone else's drama, every time you let frustration overtake your mind, or let anger control your actions, you're giving away your power. Your emotions have a hold on you. They dictate your reactions, cloud your judgment, and leave you feeling like a passenger in your own life. You react, not respond. You spiral instead of finding your center. And in this never-ending emotional roller coaster, your peace, the one thing you need to feel truly alive, truly free, slips further and further away. But what if you didn't have to live like this? What if, instead of being tossed around by your emotions, you could stand firm, calm, and focused, no matter the storm? This is what emotional detachment offers you: the ability to break free from the emotional chaos and take control of your peace. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean shutting off your feelings or becoming cold. It means choosing not to be ruled by them. It means acknowledging your emotions, understanding them, but not letting them define you. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop being swept away by every shift in mood or circumstance. You find your footing, grounded and steady, no matter what's happening around you. Now imagine how different your life would be if you could live this way every single day. If, instead of being constantly at the mercy of external factors, you could choose peace no matter what happens. Imagine feeling calm when someone cuts you off in traffic, or not being dragged into an argument that isn't yours to fight. What if you could step away from toxic situations with a sense of clarity instead of frustration? The freedom, the control, the relief, it's all within your reach. It all starts with one simple shift: putting your peace first. You see, emotional detachment isn't about avoiding feelings or becoming numb. It's about reclaiming your emotional independence. It's about taking responsibility for your own inner state and realizing that no one and nothing outside of you has the power to disrupt your peace unless you allow it. When you stop letting emotions dictate your actions, you begin to create space for true transformation. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to your happiness. You begin to live with intention, with clarity, with purpose. The choice is yours. You can continue to let your emotions run the show, or you can take back your power and prioritize your peace. And if you choose the latter, the rewards are endless. Your life will shift. Your relationship you seek is waiting for you, and it's worth every step. When you begin to detach emotionally, you'll notice something incredible happen. You start to regain control. The overwhelming sense of being a victim to your own feelings begins to fade, and in its place, you discover your true strength. The strength that was always there, waiting for you to tap into. It's a quiet kind of power, one that doesn't scream for attention, but instead stands firm in the face of uncertainty. It's the power to choose how you respond to the world, to stop letting circumstances dictate your happiness, and to finally take full ownership of your emotional state. Imagine the freedom in not needing approval from others to feel good about yourself. Imagine the relief of no longer carrying the weight of someone else's anger, disappointment, judgment. When you let go of the need for others to dictate your emotions, you free yourself from a lifetime of manipulation and stress. Emotional detachment isn't about building walls around your heart. It's about choosing to protect your peace, choosing to let go of the things that no longer serve you. You stop allowing your emotions to be held hostage by the actions or words of others. You start living for yourself, and in doing so, you create a space of emotional freedom that becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. The truth is, you've been carrying around emotional baggage for far too long. You've let past hurts, misunderstandings, and disappointments shape the way you interact with the world today. And all of this weighs you down, draining your energy, clouding your clarity, and robbing you of your ability to experience joy. But when you detach emotionally, you release the hold that these past wounds have on you. You stop living in reaction to the past and start living in alignment with who you are now. stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean you erase the past, it means you stop letting it control your present. This shift is not an overnight change, but every small step you take toward emotional detachment brings you closer to the life you deserve. It's a gradual process of reclaiming your power, and it starts with one decision: to no longer be a slave to your emotions. Each time you catch yourself reacting emotionally, take a moment to pause and breathe. This simple act of awareness is where transformation begins. Instead of allowing your emotions to guide you, you become the one in control, making conscious choices that serve your highest good. This is where your peace begins to unfold. When you detach emotionally, you no longer need to chase after external sources of happiness or approval. Your peace is no longer a fragile thing, dependent on the ever-changing landscape of the world around you. It becomes unshakable, rooted deep within you. You start to see yourself not as a product of your circumstances, but as the creator of your own reality. You begin to understand that no matter what happens, you are the one who gets to decide how you feel, how you respond, and how you show up in the world. And when you make that choice, when you decide that your peace is worth more than anything else, that's when the real magic happens. When you make the choice to prioritize your peace, something incredible begins to happen. You start to see life differently. The noise, the distractions, the endless pull of others' demands, they no longer hold the same power over you. Your perspective shifts, and for the first time in a long time, you can finally breathe. The weight of emotional baggage starts to lift, and what once seemed overwhelming now feels manageable. The world doesn't change, but you do. You become someone who moves through life with a sense of calm, a sense of clarity, and a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you no longer need to react to everything around you. This shift isn't just about how you handle stress or challenges. It's about how you show up for yourself. When you detach emotionally, you stop defining yourself by your feelings in any given moment. You stop looking to your circumstances for validation. Instead, you begin to find your worth in your own heart. You realize that you are enough just as you are, and that your peace isn't something that's given to you by others or taken away by the world. It's something that comes from within. No one can take that from you. And the more you embrace this truth, the more powerful you become. Every day you'll notice that the things that once triggered you no longer have the same hold. The things that used to make you angry, anxious, or frustrated now feel distant, as if they no longer belong to you. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about reclaiming your power over them. It's about choosing not to let them dictate your actions. You begin to realize that emotional reactions are just temporary states, they come and go. But your peace, that can be constant. When you detach emotionally, you understand that emotions are like the weather. They might storm through for a moment, but they always pass. And in that space, you can choose to remain grounded. You'll start to realize that peace isn't something that needs to be earned or fought for. It's always available to you. It's just waiting for you to claim it. You might have spent years believing that peace was something you could only experience in moments of perfect calm, or when everything in your life was going well. But now you see it's something that's accessible, no matter what's going on. The chaos of the world may still rage on, but you no longer have to let it disturb your inner stillness. As you detach emotionally, your life begins to align with the highest version of yourself. You begin to attract the people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect your newfound peace. Your energy shifts from one of urgency and stress to one of calm purpose. You no longer feel like you're chasing after happiness, but instead, you're living it. Peace becomes your new normal. You stop fighting against the flow of life, and instead, you surrender to it, knowing that your peace is the anchor that will guide you through any storm. And as you continue this journey of emotional detachment, you begin to understand that the power to live the life you desire was always within you. It was never outside. It was always your choice to make. And the moment you chose peace, everything started to change. The moment you embrace the power of emotional detachment, you start to notice something profound. You stop needing others' approval to feel at peace. You stop waiting for permission to be happy, to be free, to be yourself. The need to constantly seek validation fades away, and with it comes a deep sense of inner security. No longer are you dependent on someone else's words, actions, or expectations to determine your worth. You begin to understand that your value isn't tied to anyone or anything outside of you. You are enough, exactly as you are. And once you fully internalize this, everything in your life changes. You no longer feel the pull to explain yourself, to seek approval, or to chase fleeting moments of happiness. You stop giving away pieces of your soul in search of something that's been within you all along. This is where true freedom begins, not in the world around you, but within. You stop measuring your success by other people's standards and start measuring it by your own inner peace, your sense of alignment with your true self. When emotional detachment takes root, you stop looking for happiness in external achievements, possessions, or relationships. You realize that real joy is something that comes from deep within. It's an unshakable peace, grounded in the understanding that you are whole and complete, regardless of what happens in the world. No longer will you be tossed around by the opinions or actions of others. Your peace is untouchable. As you continue to let go of the emotional baggage you've carried for years, you begin to see how much unnecessary weight you've been holding on to. The fear, the guilt, the shame, these are just heavy chains that keep you anchored to a past that no longer serves you. Emotional detachment allows you to break free from these chains. You stop carrying the burdens of things that happened long ago, things that you can no longer change. Instead of being a prisoner to your past, you start to live in the present. You reclaim your energy, your focus, your life. You take back control. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean you'll never experience pain, disappointment, or sorrow again. What it means is that you'll no longer let those emotions control you. You'll experience life fully, but you won't be dragged under by the heaviness of it. Pain will come, but it won't have the same power over you. You'll feel it, process it, and then let it go, knowing that it doesn't define you. It's simply a passing moment in the journey of your life, and you have the strength to move through it with grace. You don't need to stay stuck in it. You don't need to let it dictate your future. You can let go and choose peace instead. The more you detach, the more you'll see how much peace was always available to you. The world outside may continue to be chaotic, but your inner world is yours to command. You can choose peace over stress, calm over chaos, clarity over confusion. And as you make that choice over and over again, you'll find yourself becoming more and more aligned with your true self, unstoppable, powerful, and serene. Your peace becomes your anchor in a world that constantly tries to knock you off course. And in this peace, you find your true power. As you continue to practice emotional detachment, you begin to notice something extraordinary. Your capacity for true emotional resilience grows. What once felt like a crushing weight, something that might have knocked you off course for days or weeks, now barely phases you. You become more adaptable, more flexible in your responses to life's challenges. The things that used to knock you down no longer have that same power over you. You realize that no matter what happens, you can handle it. You are no longer at the mercy of your emotions, and with this newfound strength comes an incredible freedom. The freedom to live fully, to pursue your dreams, and to move through life with unwavering determination. You see, detaching emotionally isn't about building a shield around yourself to block out pain. It's about realizing that pain, like everything else, is temporary. It comes and goes. And when you stop allowing it to hijack your peace, you find that you can move through challenges with an incredible sense of calm. Life becomes less about what happens to you and more about how you respond to what happens. You begin to see that every obstacle, every hardship is just an opportunity to grow stronger. You no longer fear failure because you know you can handle whatever comes your way. And with this mindset, there's no limit to what you can achieve. This emotional resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving. When you detach emotionally, you stop being stuck in a cycle of fear and frustration. You stop spending your energy on things you can't control and start focusing on what truly matters. Your growth, your peace, and your progress. The noise of the world, the demands of others, the stress of life, it all begins to fade into the background. You stop reacting out of fear and start responding with purpose. You begin to take bold actions toward the life you want, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you'll still be okay. You are grounded, centered, and unshakable. Detaching emotionally doesn't mean you become indifferent to the world around you. It doesn't mean you stop caring. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By prioritizing your peace, you are actually able to show up for the world in a way that is more powerful, more compassionate, and more impactful. When you aren't constantly drained by emotional turmoil, you have the energy to focus on what truly matters. You can give to others, be present, and invest in your passions without feeling depleted. Your relationships become more meaningful. Your work becomes more fulfilling, and your sense of purpose grows stronger. You show up in the world not from a place of desperation or need, but from a place of abundance. And this sense of abundance starts to multiply. As you detach emotionally from the things that no longer serve you, you make space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new people to enter your life. Your peace becomes a magnet for positivity and growth. You no longer chase after happiness or success because you realize they are byproducts of the life you create when you are at peace with yourself. You begin to see that everything you need is already within you. You don't need to seek fulfillment outside of yourself. It's yours to claim every single day. When you step into this power, you become unstoppable. Your peace is no longer something that can be taken from you. It becomes your shield, your foundation, your source of strength. You are ready to face life with a calm, focused, and unshakable spirit. The world may throw challenges your way, but you will remain steady, clear, and at peace no matter what comes. And that in itself is the greatest power you can possess. The more you cultivate emotional detachment, the more you'll realize that your sense of peace is the true source of your power. No longer do you need to chase after external sources of happiness, approval, or success. Your peace, grounded in your own strength and clarity, becomes the most reliable foundation upon which you build your life. The more you nurture it, the stronger you become. Your peace isn't something that can be taken away by a bad day, an argument, or even a setback. It's yours, unwavering and constant. And with this peace, you unlock the ability to respond to life's challenges with a calm, clear mind, allowing you to make decisions that align with your highest values and deepest desires. This shift in perspective doesn't just affect your day-to-day life. It transforms your entire approach to growth. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Every challenge becomes an opportunity for you to test your emotional resilience, to deepen your understanding of yourself, and to strengthen your inner peace. With each trial, you grow stronger, more grounded in your truth. You stop being a victim to circumstance and become the creator of your own destiny. You learn to trust yourself and your ability to navigate through anything life throws your way. Your inner peace becomes your guide. Instead of constantly reacting to the world, you begin to respond intentionally, with clarity and purpose. The anxiety and fear that once clouded your decisions now give way to a sense of confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your emotional state. No longer are you a prisoner to your feelings, but a master of them. You make decisions not based on fear, anger, or stress, but on your deep connection to what truly matters to you. This is where true transformation happens, not when you change the world around you, but when you change the way you interact with it. And as you continue on this journey, you'll start to notice something remarkable. The more you detach emotionally, the more you begin to attract what you truly want in life. When you stop seeking validation or approval, you create space for the things that are meant for you to flow effortlessly into your life. The relationships you build are grounded in authenticity and mutual respect, not in emotional dependence or neediness. The work you do becomes more fulfilling because you are no longer driven by external expectations or the fear of failure. You begin to move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences will come to you when you're aligned with your inner peace. Your peace becomes your magnet for success, happiness, and fulfillment. When you let go of the emotional attachment to outcomes, you stop holding on so tightly to things that may not be meant for you. You start trusting the flow of life, knowing that what's meant for you will always find its way to you. Your peace becomes the key that unlocks doors you never even imagined. You move forward with a sense of calm assurance, no longer rushing, no longer pushing, but allowing life to unfold at its own pace, knowing that it will always deliver what you need at exactly the right time. This is the power of emotional detachment. Not only does it bring you peace, it brings you everything else you've been striving for. As you continue to strengthen your emotional detachment, you'll begin to realize just how much of your energy was once drained by unnecessary attachments. The constant tug of war with your emotions, the endless cycle of highs and lows, the constant need to please others or gain their approval, all of this fades into the background. And in its place, something incredible starts to emerge. You become more present, more in tune with who you really are. No longer bound by emotional baggage, you find that every moment has a richness, a depth that was previously hidden behind layers of worry and stress. In this newfound space, you'll notice a deep sense of inner calm settling in. You stop needing to be in control all the time because you trust that the universe, life itself, has its own rhythm. You no longer feel the need to force things to happen or to hold on tightly to things that aren't meant for you. You begin to trust the process of life, knowing that when you are at peace within yourself, everything else will fall into place. You are no longer chasing after the next big thing or waiting for someone else to validate your worth. You understand that peace is the most precious thing you can nurture, and it comes from within. The more you detach emotionally, the more you begin to see just how powerful you truly are. You are no longer at the mercy of outside forces. You are the master of your own mind, your own heart. You can choose how to respond, no matter what the world throws your way. This is where true freedom lies, not in external circumstances, but in your ability to maintain your peace and your power, regardless of what happens around you. This freedom doesn't just change your internal world, it transforms the way you engage with the world. You stop being reactive, constantly responding to triggers that once set you off. Instead, you become intentional in your actions, your choices, and your responses. You take full ownership of your emotions, your thoughts, and your energy. You realize that nothing and no one can take away your peace unless you allow it. You stop seeking external validation and start finding validation in your own ability to stay grounded, focused, and calm. As your inner peace becomes more entrenched, you'll notice that things start to flow to you effortlessly. You begin to attract more of what you want because you are no longer fighting against life. Instead of forcing outcomes, you allow life to unfold naturally, trusting that everything is aligning for your highest good. The people who resonate with your peace will enter your life, and those who don't will fade away. You stop holding on to toxic relationships or situations knowing that they no longer serve you. Instead, you embrace what's aligned with your true self, what nourishes your soul, and you let go of what doesn't. In this state of emotional detachment, you stop fearing loss. You stop fearing change. You stop fearing the unknown. You understand that your peace is not contingent upon the external world. It's not about what happens to you, but about how you show up for yourself, how you choose to remain anchored in your own truth. This is the power of emotional detachment. No matter what happens, you stay whole, you stay complete.